Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com. I'm Jackie Cation. I'm the host of the Dork Forest, and it's the end of February. This month, our sponsor has been Ranger of the Dork Forest, Jeff Fulmer, who published an ebook for Kindle app, Nook, anything electronic. You can read it, and you can get it at Amazon. It's called Firebird Gym, and it's really fun, and it's dark, and it's good. So if you go to Amazon, get this, it's free today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So it's free February 25th, 26th, and 27th of this year. Free ebook. Just get it. Go to Amazon, Kindle, hit Firebird Gym, or go to firebirdgym.com, and get Jeff Fulmer's book, because it's really fun, and it's great. And if you want to write a review, I'm sure he'd appreciate that as well. And I hope you enjoy it, because it's episodic, and there's going to be more. If you like aliens, and you like high schoolers, and you like the res, because some of it takes place on the res, you guys. And there's a lot of things invoked, so do it. In other news, I have a new stand-up special coming out, video, 1 hour, and it will be released March 4th at allthingscomedy.com/records, and it'll be $5 download. I hope you enjoy it. It's called This Will Make an Excellent Horcrux, and it's called that because these are the most personal jokes I've ever written, as you can imagine, as you go along in comedy. So, stand-up comedy, that's going to be available. It'll be linkable off of my site, JackieCation.com. And there is a limited edition t-shirt if you want a Horcrux t-shirt. Horcrux Tour t-shirt. I put my soul in this. It'll have the graphic for the cover of the DVD and CD, and then it'll have that on the back. And it's really great. It's designed by Jenny Fine. So if you get a chance, do that. And for the love of God, let's start the episode. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I'm back in my living room, and I'm with Eric Lampaert. We met earlier this last week, just over at the Meltdown, doing set list together.
We both were amazing. Let's be honest.
We blew it away, didn't we? Didn't we knock it out of the park?
We did.
Pretty sweet set list.
We don't knock things out of the park in England.
No,
we just don't have that kind of sport where we knock things out of parks.
Right. Well, that's because things belong in parks.
Right.
Why would you knock it out of a park? It
Exactly.
seems untidy. It doesn't seem positive. And you want to keep it together. So you are an English comic?
Yeah. I would say that.
In life? Yes?
In life, yes.
In life. Do you live in London?
I live in London. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, but you see, I'm French. I was born in France.
Right, because it's Lampaert,
yeah.
but there's a T on the end of it because of the French.
Well, you see, I'm going to pronounce it without the T because it sounds more French.
It does.
But, you could pronounce it with a T.
You could say Lampaert.
I don't really know.
Right.
All I know is that the etymology is I'm a lamb herder.
Oh.
So I herd lambs. Whenever I see a lamb, there's something inside of me that's like...
You know, that my dad would always say that about, because my ancestry is Armenian.
Right.
And he would, there were a lot of political people when I was a child, and he was like, what, are we going to move back? We're going to go back to shepherding? It seems unlikely. And he said, I would have been a terrible shepherd if I had lived in Armenia. And
Have you ever tried it, Jackie? Have you ever tried to shepherd?
I think they had sheep when he was a kid. They had they had lambs. Yeah. All of his pets were killed.
Right. That's not a good sign for a shepherd.
He grew up in the Depression, so they were constantly raising animals for slaughter.
Right.
And I was like, could we do that? And he's like, this is now a suburb. This is no longer a place where you slaughter animals.
Yeah, but you've got a garden.
We do have a garden. I'll show you.
A couple of lambs and some crabs. You don't herd crabs, do you?
No, we don't. We don't herd crabs. I've heard of crabs. Huh? Come on, I'm here all week.
All right.
We have an iguana. You can get the tour.
Iguana?
Yeah, I'll show. You were just talking about how the house is just full of dorky paraphernalia, including our Harry Otter coasters.
The glasses. I have a Captain America one.
And I have a Doctor Strange.
Which is the most loser superhero of them all, isn't it?
I used to be you.
I mean, come on.
Look at that outfit. Doesn't it make you say to yourself, what a fucking tool bag? Is that exactly what it makes you think, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
But probably Britishy.
But also, he's got a shield. That's all you've got, mate.
No. Let me tell you something about Captain America. I used to, because I had a guy in the Dork Forest who wrote the Captain America, brought him brought him back to life, killed him,
Right.
brought Bucky back to life, the comic book guy, right?
Yeah.
And I said to him, that outfit's ridiculous. He looks like just a tool of the man. And he goes, and then I read him, and he is not. He is a soldier. So there is, he's a guy that takes orders, but he is also has taken an oath to defend the Constitution both domestically and internationally. So he will stand up to bad guys domestically.
It's nice to see him without a gun as well.
It is nice. And he doesn't, because he just uses the shield. He can disarm you.
Yeah,
and he's not Power Man. He's not impervious to bullets.
No.
But they're really not going to hurt him that bad because he's a super soldier.
He was just out of place, I think, in Avengers Assemble, for example. They were all just kick-ass, and he was like, oh, I've got a shield. Can I help?
Yes, you can. You know what he does? He's morale guy.
He is morale guy.
I would never go so far as to say HR, because that would be the human resources, because that's everyone who works in HR, it seems like one of the most thankless jobs in the world, and they always have this grin on their face like, no, we're gonna fire you, but I'm trapped in between wanting to help people and wanting to help the company. Yeah. And it's the worst gig in the world as far as I'm concerned. But he is morale guy, and he brings the team together. So,
okay. Well, agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree completely.
Who's your favorite?
Of all the superheroes?
Yeah, of all of them. It's a hard one. There's so many lovely ones.
They're really great ones. It's in the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Captain America movie, and I'm really looking forward to the next Captain America movie. Iron Man's amazing, right?
He's got a great attitude, doesn't he?
Well, and I didn't read Iron Man before it came out,
right.
the movie, and then I started reading Iron Man, and I was like, hey, he's kind of a dick.
He is a dick.
And they were like, yeah, he's a dick, but he's a superhero, so that's what I really like about Marvel. And we're talking about my dorkdom and not yours. But here's the thing: is that all the characters are very different. In DC, for me, they can be very similar.
Yeah.
They're always tortured, and all the bad guys are clearly insane. And so it's never like Captain America. He's just a guy. He's a guy who now has superpowers because he's a super soldier and he's faster than you and he can punch you in the face. But Iron Man is smarter than you, but he's also kind of a jerk about it.
Yeah, but I think awesome. I would be. I'd be. You see, and I don't even think I'd be a superhero. I would love.
You're already the smartest man in the room, is what you're telling me?
I would be such a villain. I would be such a bastard about things, and because I have the shape of, like, physically, I'm quite gangly.
Right.
My arms are way too long for a normal human.
Oh, really?
And I've got a tiny chin. I've got big hair, so it makes it, like the film Unbreakable.
Yes.
Samuel Jackson's got a big afro, and and then Bruce Willis has big full chin.
Right.
I have the sort of super villain.
Now, I'm surprised you wouldn't have gone with a shorter haircut and the bearded youth movement.
Well, the thing is, I can't grow a beard.
Oh, really?
I'm
You've
27. I still
Right.
can't grow a beard.
Right.
And the reason
There'll be a day.
One day, I want to rub maybe some testosterone or just in my
Don't do
cheek.
it. Don't do it. No, I think the once you start using it, it can affect your guys.
Oh, okay.
It can affect your.
Well, they're pretty shit anyway. If I'm honest, I have anxiety, so just like the.
Oh, you're willing to adopt?
Yeah.
All right.
And we're sharing a lot.
We're sharing a lot. Welcome to a podcast where people tell too much information about themselves.
So I've got long hair because I've got a weird bulge at the back of my head.
Oh, I have a weird flat spot at the back of my head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there should be a lot of jokes about blowjobs and putting a beer there.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know why comics are? They're nice. They've
nice.
always been super nice. No, there's some jackassery going on in stand-up comedy. So,
I've met a few.
Yeah, I've met a few. I don't hang out with them. That's my big thing about stand-up.
Makes sense. Just don't hang out with bastards.
Right. You're like, oh, you aren't nice. It's been nice meeting you.
But not just in comedy. If you're listening to this, I recommend it. Just if you know a bastard, get away from him.
Yeah.
Or her.
Or her.
Let's not be sexist.
And also, you, madam. Yes, I believe you were correct. It just tend to, move along. There's no reason not to do that. Now, your dorkdom, Eric Lampaert, is evolution, you said.
Love it. I love it.
You love it.
I find it fascinating.
Okay.
It's just...
For those who might not know, I know what evolution is, but the thing is, it's Darwin's theory of evolution, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you
Well,
read
it's not just Darwin's. I mean, there was
a lot of people involved.
A few other people that were. But he's the first one. I went, look, I've got a book.
Right.
Read mine first.
I published.
Yeah, and everyone else is like, damn you, Darwin.
Oh my God, it's raining.
It's raining rain. Yeah, that's very rare here.
It never happens. Holy smokes.
I love how you guys drive in the rain. You're all so careful.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Because I'm from England where
it rains.
It rains, I'd say, every day.
Yeah.
And I'm Swifty in the rain.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing about why people are careful in the rain in LA is because it rains so rarely. Once the water hits the road, all the oil comes up.
Right.
And makes it slidery.
Oh.
So that's why
slidery a word?
Nope.
But I like it.
It's a nice one.
It makes sense.
It makes it more slippery and slidey. And so you have to just sort of be aware of how tricksy it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
A lot of words.
I had to ask about the slidery because there's a lot of things lost in translation.
Yeah.
Which I actually quite like.
Oh, yeah? What do you like?
Should we stand in the queue?
Oh, right.
I have no idea what you're saying, mate.
Are you talking about my Netflix queue?
That's right.
That's how we learned the word queue.
Oh, is that right? So you do know the word queue?
We now know the word queue because of Netflix. Because Netflix is like, we're calling it a queue. You want to call it a list? You call it a list. But we're calling it a queue, and they spell it Q-U-E-U-Q.
Q-U-U-E-U-U.
Yeah, E-U-U. Go Q.
By the way, I agree with you guys, Americans, about the spelling of colour and favourite.
Oh, right.
Because we actually took it from the French. The OU thing.
Right. It's nice. What I have all the original Harry Potter books in the British versions.
Nice.
And, there's jumpers. People are calling sweaters jumpers.
Oh, jumpers. Yeah. People laugh at me because I'm like,
you're wearing your jumper.
I'm wearing my jumper.
It turns out.
It's nice.
It is nice. It's a cozy jumper.
I quite like, and for example, the word fanny.
Oh yeah, Isn't that the pudendum?
Vagina.
Yeah, that's the front of the back of my privates.
So we have both, the backs and the front.
Right, but it's the slang, or is it a slang, or is it a derogatory fanny?
It's like silly. It's like
it's like calling your penis your pee-pee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it's just what little kids.
Sexy.
No, it's not.
I've maybe next time I have sex with a lady woman.
I recommend a woman.
A lady one.
Yes.
A lady woman.
A
would
lady
be best.
woman. Yes.
Then I might just say, "Ooh, I'm going to touch your fanny," just to see what she's,
just to see where she's at with it.
Just to see the reaction.
Right. And she might have a fanny because she might not have any pubic hair. Because a lot of ladies under the age of 30 don't have any more pubic hair.
Under the age of 30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because we're all aiming towards just being hairless, squeaking balloons going against each other.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I enjoy some
hair. Yeah. Because you're an adult. I'm going to want some hair on you, sir.
Yeah.
Even gentlemen are doing it. Fellas are trimming it up down there.
Yeah, I had to ask them. A lot of Americans, they just everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm not for that. I want to show you that I am a man.
You are a man. Things have happened. You can't grow a beard, but the rest of you, adult.
I'll tell you one thing that's really weird.
What?
I can't grow hair anywhere on my body except my bum. Hair, it's horrible. It's actually horrible.
You have a lot of hair on your butt?
Oh, it's weird.
And your rear end.
On my fanny.
All right.
Yeah.
And on your American fanny. Not on your British fanny. So I have hair on my cunt. And, which is, they use the word cunt a lot more in Britain than
in England it's just like, if we like you, you're a cunt.
Right. Which I think, and it's kind of interesting, the word cunt used to be like this huge taboo word, and it's still a taboo word, but it used to be ridiculously I had a cunt joke back in 94. It was a great year for comedy. And I was on the road and I did a joke, and it was a dumb joke.
Right.
And it wasn't a great joke, but I was eating it so hard at this spaghetti factory.
The cunt joke.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, not the cunt. That does sound, it sounds like a different sexual moment.
Good gig.
Good gig. Hell of a road work. And, it was in, no one needs to know, Jackie. No one cares. It was in Iowa. Anyway, but there was a spaghetti, restaurant.
Right.
That had comedy.
Yeah.
Already a success story. And I was doing so poorly. I was featuring, just doing 30 minutes in front of the headliner, a guy named Mike Veneman, who has sadly passed away. And he narked on me. Because I was eating it so bad. I was not doing well on stage. I was not performing.
Which happens.
That occurs in the 90s on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, I did my cunt joke, and all it was that I'd rather be called a cunt than a bitch,
Right.
because I know exactly what you mean when you're calling me a bitch, which is you think that I'm mean-spirited, and I think that you're wrong, and I don't know what you mean when you say cunt, so fucking call me a cunt. Anyway, so I get off stage, and he comes up to me, he's like, that's the one word you can't say in stand-up comedy, and I said, maybe it's the one word you can't say. I have one. What's the problem?
Yeah.
And then he narked on me to the booker.
Oh.
And that was not the reason the booker didn't book me anymore. There was any number of other drunken reasons why
And
that
he died. I mean, you know, like
Yeah,
you're telling me this story, and it's like, oh, by the way, he died.
And by the way, I killed him.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
We got her, everyone. We got her. Go, go, go. Just the police arrives.
Exactly. We waded so far off of evolution, except for comedy's all about evolution, isn't
Well,
it?
in a way, I mean, I subtly mentioned it. You know, the large lump on the back of my head.
Right.
Right? That's called an occipital bun.
Okay.
And basically, you know, because the way evolution happened, the human evolution, you have to go far back. Really,
You got to go back to the beginning?
the beginning.
Okay.
When God created everything.
Excellent.
So it started 6,000 years ago.
Right. Fully formed from the clamshell of a lady.
Hashtag obviously.
Hashtag.
You know. Which actually, that's a quote from the Bible. Hashtag obviously.
Oh, that is a good one.
Chapter 7.
7. That's after the first 5 books, which are very popular. The 7th one, a lot of people don't get there. They don't know that's where hashtags were.
Number 7's the rest day, isn't it? So
It's
like, as soon as you get to chapter 7, you're like, I don't.
I'm just going to skim. And it's going good. Yeah.
So that's like 2.4 million years ago.
Right.
That's when the Homo gene appeared. Right.
Okay.
And homo means human or
Right.
man, right? Depending on like the Latin or the Greek. Mm-hmm, but anyway, it means man and in terms of like humanity.
Right.
Because people will go, homo.
You said homo.
So, the Homo gene came out of the evolution closet, if you
Okay.
like, right? And so you have Homo habilis first one, and Homo habilis means handyman. So he was the
Okay.
first one to fucking, I need to break shit.
Oh.
Right? Like, I just need to
It's not the thumb. It's just I have hands. I need to break stuff.
Yeah, they had thumbs. They had thumbs before, you know, like because
Okay.
there's apes, and you know, like people say, "Oh, what? So we're monkeys?" Well, I mean, yeah, in a way, we are monkeys.
Oh, we're monkeys.
Oh, we're monkeys,
If people
mate.
think we are not monkeys, you are out of your mind.
We still masturbate like them, you know. We just. Oh, by the way, we don't open bananas like monkeys.
Oh, I know it. Somebody was telling. Wait,
Squeeze the nipple because you know, like people use the hand. You know, there's a long handle.
it's
they
like
use
the
that
stem.
as a.
Yeah.
That's the handle. That's the handle, and then you squeeze the nipple. It never fails.
Never fails. Opens right up. I just had a banana. Opened it wrong. But someone had told me that if you open it from what we consider to be the wrong end,
Yeah.
it is the easiest way to open a
Easiest.
banana.
And that's
Because
how monkeys do it.
sometimes it breaks.
Yeah.
Because monkeys aren't stupid. And if you've ever been to a Korean spa, we're monkeys. We are monkeys, ladies. Because we're just crouching and there's running water and we're scrubbing ourselves with a loofah. That is a monkey.
I mean, it's all there. It's all there. Like, all you need to do, like, for example, you could look at a cat, right? Cat's bones. And you could, if, let's say, bones were made of Play-Doh, right? Or, is there another word for Play-Doh in
No,
America? Okay.
Play-Doh's the word.
Okay.
Go Play-Doh.
You could essentially morph all those bones to make a human.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You could just mold all the mammals. All of them.
Oh, all other mammals you could morph into a...
You could, potentially.
Okay,
I mean, obviously
like
there's-
you could look at a femur of a cat, is what you're saying,
Yeah.
and say to yourself, "Oh, that looks like a femur,"
Yeah.
and know what a femur is. Okay,
We have the exact same amount of hairs as chimpanzees. Humans do.
follicles.
Yeah, all of the hair. We have
Okay.
the exact same, and we have the exact same hairless parts as them. It's just that we're not as coarse or as like it's not as black, it's not as long.
Right.
But it's all there.
It's all there.
It's all there. So we had Homo habilis, and that all started in theory around East Africa.
Okay.
Because shit got real.
Did shit go down?
Yeah, that's Darwin's quote. Shit got real.
Shit got real.
Yeah, because it was, there's tectonic plates, so there's loads of changing,
Right,
there's
right.
loads of dangerous animals, survival of the fittest. Right, so you got Homo habilis, and then over thousands of years, I'm making it sound more simple. It's not just
Right.
like that.
No.
But
I saw Primeval. I know what's happening.
you know how it works.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
I did meet a creationist once.
Oh, did you?
And got into, not an argument, because actually she was really lovely.
Okay.
She was just like, oh, no one ever taught me evolution, so, I just don't understand it.
I met a Turkish woman who had not been taught about the Armenian genocide. Was
Right.
also very polite.
It's kind of the same thing.
Exactly. It's exactly. She had been taught that it wasn't real, and so.
But then when I taught her, and she was like, no, I still don't agree. That's when I got angry. That's when it
That's
got
when
real.
she was killed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And basically, so you got Homo erectus, the next one.
Okay.
Then Homo heidelbergensis.
Heidelbergensis. That's
yeah.
a great word.
Heidelbergensis is, I think, is the university of the school that the name of the university that found that particular type of Homo.
And what is so erectus means obviously standing upright.
Standing upright.
What's the next version of
Heidelbergensis?
But what does it mean? What did we do that was different than just standing erect and breaking
that's
crap?
It's not really.
Sure.
There's not that much of a change. I'd say maybe slightly taller or anything like that. But
Okay.
I normally dismiss that one. I don't really like it.
Sure.
Right, but then Heidelbergensis split into two because there was Heidelbergensis in Europe and then some in Africa. The Europe one became Homo neanderthalensis, and the African one became Homo sapien, which is what we are. Right?
Okay.
Although we're Homo sapiens sapien. So people say we're Homo sapiens. We're not. We're Homo sapiens sapiens.
Oh, that would be an
double
autocorrect. Yeah, we are double sapiens.
That's how wise we are. We're wise. You know, we're the brand of Homo that made Twitter and grape scissors. Look how wise we are that we can't even use grapes without scissors.
Right, we're amazing.
Do you know that's a real thing? Grape scissors.
No.
Someone is so rich that, could you pass me the scissors? Not those ones, the grape ones.
That's a specific kitchen utensil is to cut grapes from
scissors.
from the vine? Like instead of just
on...
pulling a grape from it, you clip a grape.
That's right.
Well, it does sound classy, doesn't it?
It does sound so classy.
I'm going to have a Dove dark chocolate. You are welcome to have one.
Put it all in your mouth in one go. I dare you.
Well, let me tell you something. They come with Dove dark promises. Ooh. And but the printing on them have been shitty recently. Enjoy the rich hood? Rich hood? No. Enjoy the childhood.
Oh, I'm glad
Joys
it's something
of
else,
winter.
by the way, because I thought you said, enjoy the rich. And I was like,
enjoy
whoa.
the rich. No, eat the rich.
How 1% of you?
Enjoy the childhood joys of winter. I wanted to say it in a dark, scary, spooky voice because it's a dark promise.
Shall I try it?
Yeah, you may try it. Have your own.
Oh, I'll have my own. Okay, cool. This is actually very exciting. This is like the Chinese cookies, but just not at all.
Right.
Chocolate therapy is so good.
Wow. That is terrifying. And yet not where I would have gone.
No.
No.
Chocolate therapy.
Eric Lampaert.
I would like chocolate therapy. I'm currently in therapy.
Are you in therapy?
I have anxiety.
Oh, do you just have anxiety?
So,
but it's what do you do about it?
My particular branch is rumination.
Okay.
So, like, I'll look at something and I'll think of the worst case scenario, and then that worst case scenario will become loads of different scenarios in my head where I have to deal with a situation, and then I'll think of the worst one, and then I'll go, this is a problem that doesn't even exist. Right. I've gone so far in this future scenario.
Right.
That I then feel the emotion. So I'll
like if you were to do something. Right.
So
okay.
if someone, for example,
preemptive mourning. You've done some preemptive mourning?
Horrible, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you prepare yourself. So if that person does, for example, die, right, then you don't have to mourn anymore because you've already done it.
Right. You've already, worrying. I was told that worrying is a way to pretend that you are in control of things. Yeah. And you aren't. And it's one. Do you dream a lot? Do you remember your dreams?
Mainly when I go to sleep.
Do you oh, is that when you're sleeping? I do most of my dreaming when I'm awake, but I never remember my dreams unless they mean something.
Right.
And what's hilarious about that, there's never a mystery about what they mean. It's always an anxiety dream.
It's always anxiety.
Yeah, it's always just some sort of, I wonder what's going to happen. Turns out the same thing that's happening now may be slightly different.
Yeah.
Like, life doesn't change that fundamentally more than twice, you know?
You never know, though. Right now, like, an astoid could be on the way.
Hurtling towards, that's unwanted.
How would we survive?
How would we? I'm okay with going. You're in your 20s, so no, I'm done.
Oh, well, no, you say that, but because of my anxiety, the logical option of everything I come from is like, oh, well, you just kill yourself.
Well, that's because that's your 20s. Your 20s, you want to kill yourself. Your 30s,
oh, interesting.
Yeah, your 30s, you kind of want to kill yourself. Your 40s, you're just willing to die.
Okay.
It's different. You're just like, oh, well, I could die and then I wouldn't have to finish this script. And
yeah, that's how I feel already.
Yeah. But I'm no longer willing to actively kill myself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking
so if you wait it out, yeah.
Interesting.
And my dad told me that in your 60s and 70s, he said that's what your 40s and 50s are like. You're like, it's been a good run. But when you're in your 60s and 70s, you're holding on to every minute because you don't know what's next.
Right.
And I said, you go to church every week, Dad. Your heaven is next. You'll be in heaven. And he looked at me and he goes, heaven, you think? Me? And
I'm excited. Why wouldn't he go to heaven?
I know, because he's a bit of a jackass,
Okay.
but he's a charming jackass. I think
that's nice.
I think God would like him up there.
Yeah, heaven needs
not?
some charming jackasses.
But exactly, I'm sure it's full of charming jackasses. He will have someone to talk to. Jesus, I bet you that guy was a charming jackass.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Get me down this cross. I don't know why he's got this accent.
I don't know why he does either. That's a nice one though. So all of a sudden we're in Africa. Homo sapiens sapiens.
So we've got Homo sapiens and Homo Neanderthals. So I wanted to explain that little backstory to explain that there was those two.
Right.
And then Homo sapiens is the ones that have survived, right?
Okay.
Because there was an ice age, probably killed off a lot of the Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm,
They weren't actually stupid. People say, oh, you're such a Neanderthal. They weren't brute as people think. They were intelligent as well.
They were as intelligent as the sapiens sapiens? They just happened to live further north and got hit by an iceberg?
They got cold, yeah. And that's one of the reasons why the white skin and sort of dark skin exists as well. Because dark skin pigment survive better in the sun.
Oh, right.
And if you have dark skin, you don't take as much sunlight in, you don't take as much melanin.
Right.
So then white skin was better for that. So up north, where there's less sun. So that's why
it was an evolutionary reason.
Yeah, because then the sort of darker skin would just struggle.
Right.
In terms of up north.
Right.
But now we have diets and food and
shelter.
And shelter and all that, so it's fine.
It's fine. Black people can live in Germany. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. Whether the Germans are happy about it.
Exactly. That's a separate issue entirely.
No, you know what? Germans are bloody lovely.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean, since 1945, I think they've got their act together.
Oh, I think that when you admit that you've done something horrible, it really frees you up to really just be a decent human being.
Well, you say that, but they said that after World War I. They were like, yeah, we were bastards. And then 20 years later, they're like, oh, can we have another go?
Yes. Well,
they did good, though. Lots of great movies.
Oh, yeah. I like my Nazis buffoonish. I can't see Nazis who have their shit together. It creeps me out. I can't. They're too scary.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Hogan's Heroes kind of.
Have you seen
Indiana Jones?
Oh, what's the film where the Nazis live on the moon? And then
Nazis on the moon?
Yeah.
No, I read a great comic book where Dracula was on the moon, though.
Oh,
Dark side of the moon. Why wouldn't he be on the dark side? No sun. Yeah.
No sun, yeah.
And then they attacked the Earth, and Captain Britain fought him.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a great arc. It's a great. I wonder who wrote that Captain. I'll put that in the notes.
Hey, here's a question for you.
Sure.
Right? If you're a werewolf and you live on the moon, right? Are you always a werewolf or are you never a werewolf? Because you can't look up at the moon.
And when is it full? Is it just? But
because if you look down at the floor, all you see is moon.
I have said the word cunt, and now I'm going to talk about my period. So it's been a great episode so far. It's a couple of things I never do. But if I'm on the moon, if I'm a lady on the moon, do I get my menstrual cycle?
Well, isn't it every 28 days?
Well, and wouldn't you be a werewolf every 28 days? Boom. Huh?
Yeah, but periods and werewolves are very different
They're
things.
the same thing. Huh? You talk to a hacky comic from 1992, that gentleman will tell you women turn into werewolves.
Oh, that's true, man.
Why?
Yes, quite.
Exactly. It's, I think that they're people and then they're werewolves.
Okay.
Every 28 days.
That's fine.
That's what I think.
Yes. So Neanderthals, sapiens. So they lived in Europe and Africa, and some of them they merged. So around the Arabian country where Africa is attached to Europe, and also Spain was attached to Africa as well. The Strait of Gibraltar.
Yep.
So they were able to have sex with each other. It's like tigers and lions, right? They can sort of do it.
Oh, can they?
So Homo sapiens and Homo Neanderthals, they could do it.
Okay.
So but then let's say now that Neanderthals are dead,
right?
Some of them still did merge with some Homo sapiens. So a lot of Europeans have Neanderthal DNA.
Right.
So I have 3.4% Neanderthal DNA.
How do you know? Did you have
I spent $300
to get a jet?
To find out. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I have a small chin and a big
you're like,
bulge.
why?
Yeah.
Why? Why, Santa? Why?
And the way I found out was I was at the Natural History Museum in London.
In London.
And this woman came up to me and she's like, "You've got an occipital bun." And I was like, "Oh, an exceptional bum." She's like, "No, just relax." And then I showed her my bum and she went, "Oh, actually, you're right.
You're right. That's not bad. That's not bad. Nice work."
But yeah, and she basically explained that, I'm Neanderthal.
And then did you give her $300?
No, I gave her nothing. I took her for some coffee and stuff. We're friends now.
That's very nice. Because the thing is how do you know? How do you know that you sent off $300 and then they sent off a thing? Did they do it for reals? How do you know they did it for reals?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I technically have no proof.
Right.
But I have slightly more understanding and faith in science. Now, yes, it's true that they could have just gone, oh, you're that much percentage.
Exactly.
And I'm like, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll take this
In a way,
information.
it's like a religion, isn't it?
It's a little bit like, I bought familypetancestry.com, the
Oh, yeah?
domain name, and all it does is point at my website. But it made me laugh because I like the idea of finding out, if your cat came over on the Mayflower. Don't you want to know?
makes
Don't you
sense,
want to
yeah.
know if your dog is a dog of the American?
I would say
love
yes,
that
I'd
joke.
want to find out about the dog,
Yeah.
know about the cat, because cats are they're such little pricks.
Oh.
The way they look at me, like, where's the food, bitch?
Right.
I'm like, well, you're not even paying rent.
You
Get out
have
of my house.
anxiety. You have anxiety about the cats, is what it sounds
It
like.
does my head in. He looks at me like I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
At least dogs, when you come home, they're like, hey, dude, do you want to play? Can we play something? Cats are shit.
You don't like cats?
And you know why I hate cats as well?
Why?
Because, I mean, it doesn't affect men, luckily. It affects women.
Yes.
They purr at the same frequency when they need something. They purr at the same frequency as a baby's cry.
Oh.
So women naturally, then when they purr
Have we
at that frequency,
evolved to respond to that tone?
you've evolved not for the cats. You've evolved obviously
For
to
babies.
respond for babies.
And cats have evolved to really
Cats have used
milk
yeah,
that.
they
They're like, we're gonna. They had a cat meeting.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's do this. Did you hear about this? Let's practice.
yeah, that's why they're bastards. Dogs don't think it. Cats have.
Dogs do not think. You are correct.
But one thing I like about evolution, it explains so many things about stereotypes. I try not to, because women and men are equal. But there are a few things that, like, oh, okay, why is it like that? So, for example, the stereotype of men can read maps better or make their way around. It doesn't mean that women can't do it.
Right.
But it's just because during the sort of cave days, and if you're a homeless person, that's still cave day.
Right.
Some of them
Still happening.
caves.
We got a 7-Eleven real close to here. Guy lives right outside of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So men would go out to hunt, but
So they
sometimes
had to find their way back.
Yeah, and they would go hunt for days. And back then, I don't know if you know, but there were no iPhones.
What?
Yeah, that's right. So Google Maps, none of that. None of
Nokia?
that. No, nothing.
Oh, weird.
And everything looked the same, right? And I
Okay.
don't want to be racist, but trees and rocks look the same everywhere.
Trees. One tree, a lot like another tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to find their way around. And so so the ones that didn't have that, inside them, that genetically they weren't good at finding their way around.
Yeah.
They would die out, and therefore they wouldn't pass on their genes, and therefore no survival of the fittest.
Right.
The ones that could make it back passed it on.
Okay.
And this is why also women are better at communicating and also better at multitasking. Because while they had to take care of the kids and take care of grandma, they also had to make that food. Oh, and also they had to do the
Clothing
the
and
thing.
chew leather so that it would get
do
soft.
so much more than men. So they are multitasking, and also they're better with words and emotion because they had to love their children. Because if you didn't love your children, they would die out. That not loving children
Right.
gene would pass
Tom
out.
Papa does a great joke about how his wife clearly loves their children more than he loves their children because whenever they get in the car together, she's like, I already miss them. And I was like, who are you talking about? And so I think you're right. It's a great, see Tom Papa, tompapa.com, MikeKaplan.com with a Q. Okay, so those are the two jokes that I've referenced of other people's.
That's nice.
You gotta tell people.
I mean, it's good. I think there's a good community in comedy.
Oh yeah,
Do you not
yeah,
think?
it's nice. But I think, I do believe, when you're a kid, you think stereotypes can't possibly. You're raised to believe that stereotypes are a way to pigeonhole people and be mean. So you're raised to go, well, stereotypes aren't true. And then you go to college and you hang out with people. You drink a lot of beer and you drink a lot of coffee,
Yeah.
and you have that conversation 1,900 times where you're like, men and women are exactly the same. Black people and white people are exactly the same. But and then you get, as you age, you realize, no, we can celebrate the differences in people.
Totally.
It doesn't mean you want to limit anyone's potential, right? There's a
that's
different.
Right. I'm a big. I stand up for like race and stuff like that because I was born in France, but I grew up in Belgium and Germany and South Africa, and then I moved to England. And in all those countries, if I was born in France, I got bullied about being French in Belgium.
Okay.
But then if I moved to Germany, because I grew up in Belgium, I was bullied about that. So,
wow.
And I'm like, why is such a problem?
It's warring trailer parks,
And so
man. Who gives a shit?
I always try and defend. Like, I came here to LA, so this is my 5th time, and my friends were like, Asian women are such bad drivers. And I was like, guys, come on now. Like, it's so bad. Right? And this is genuinely true, and I'm so annoyed, right? So they were like, no, they are really bad at driving. And I'm like, not really. And I tried to really protect the humanity. Right?
And the sweeping generalization.
Yeah.
Without... I have a theory on this, but go.
And so it really annoyed me. The next day, we see a car crash.
And... 2 Asian women?
Both Asian women drivers. And it really bothered me because I was trying to protect Asian women drivers.
Right. You were like, how can I defend you if you were going to act like the thing that you are not supposed to act
Why
like?
can't you crash somewhere else?
Right, but now, I am from Wisconsin. It is in the middle of the United States.
Oh, I know all your 50 states.
Oh, do you?
Because
Why?
there's a website. I recommend it if you're a dork and stuff.
Yeah.
Sporkle.com.
How do you spell sporkle?
Sporcle. And it's full of little quizzes, just random quizzes.
About every state in the Union?
About everything.
Oh, about everything. Sporkle.
Dinosaurs, chickens, monkey faces.
Yeah.
Maybe not monkey faces.
Right.
Although
Captain
actually,
America.
You could probably just, what kind of monkey is this? and so I've learned all 187 sort of sovereign countries and stuff like that in the world. And I've also learned all 50 states.
Right.
Just for
fun. Just for good times. All right. Well, what is the capital of Togo?
Oh, I don't do capitals.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay.
But I enjoy test me on a country. Like Armenia's next to Georgia. It's just above like Jordan, that sort of area, right?
It's like Turkey and then Armenia and then Georgia and something with a stan. And then what about, can you name all the countries in Africa?
I could try.
Yeah, go for it. Start with South Africa.
Okay, so South Africa, and then you got Lesotho.
Yeah.
Right, just there in the middle. Then you got obviously Madagascar, the island.
Right.
And then you got Zambia, I believe, Namibia. And then you've got, I don't know them all.
It's hard. It's the hardest continent.
It's really hard.
Just because it's bigger than every other continent, and there's a boatload of countries and they're constantly changing.
And there's so much wars as well. Like Libya's now 2 technically.
Okay.
One thing I really liked about Libya was that it had a green flag, just a green flag.
Oh, just like a green field.
No, there was no green
anywhere
in Libya.
In Libya.
No, there's no green, is there?
Right. It's pretty.
Are they 2 countries now, Libya?
I don't know.
Because
I
of the old war.
don't see. The thing is much like your DNA test, you could tell me the name of any country, and I would be like, "Oh, cool," because I don't know. All I know is Togo. It's on the west side,
right?
And then the capital.
The west side's the hardest one because it's actually got loads of little countries,
tiny
like
countries,
Cape
like
Verde and Suriname and Principe.
Okay.
There's loads of like really weird little ones.
Yeah. It's but the capital is Lomé. And I only,
Lomé.
with
Nice.
it's French, with an accent aigu.
Ah oui, il y a beaucoup de Français en Afrique.
Yes, en Afrique. Si j'étais un garçon, j'aurais un zizi.
That's very good. If I was a boy, I would have a willy.
Yes, that's exactly,
Very
that's all
nice.
I have left of my college French.
That's all you need to go to France, if I'm honest. That's all you need.
That and où est le toilette? And then I can just yell, toilet, American.
Oi,
I gotta,
and then you just start
I gotta
pissing
pee.
and you just point.
just point
This.
them.
I need this.
I need this taken care of. That
do
could
find
actually end in tears.
I do find it funny that, like, où la toilette is actually a useful phrase.
Yeah.
But did you ever learn où est la bibliothèque? Where is
The library?
Yeah.
I'd love to know where the library was, but only if any of the books were in English.
Right. This is my problem with this. Like,
Yeah.
Because apart from Where's Wally, right?
Yes.
Where's Waldo?
Waldo, yeah.
Waldo. He's got a different name wherever you go.
Oh, does
right?
he?
So it's Wally in America, in England.
Oh, is he?
Waldo here.
Okay.
Charlie in France.
Oh.
Walter in Germany.
Excellent.
Right. I asked a Swedish guy once. I went, Where's Wally called in Sweden?
Yeah.
And he went, Who's Wally? I thought,
I was
wow,
like,
that's a totally different book.
He's dressed in a Russian, but red. And,
Like I found him, but has he found himself?
he is not. He is clearly on the run. He's more Carmen Sandiego. So,
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, bibliothèque.
we were talking about, here's my question. How many languages do you speak since you lived all over? Do you speak Dutch?
Dutch was my first language.
Oh, really?
But because I never got to practice it anymore, I don't really speak it. That really bothers me, really annoying. So I speak French and English.
Okay.
And then to anyone that doesn't speak German or Spanish, I can make it look like I'm fluent.
Very nice. Very nice.
But I've just started learning Japanese.
Okay.
I find it like a very interesting, fascinating language.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
started like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
こんにちは。はじめまして。私はエリックです。よろしくお願いします。
What does it mean? What does it mean?
So, こんにちは is obviously hello.
Hello.
はじめまして is like, nice to meet you.
Yep.
私はエリックです。My name is Eric.
Okay.
And then, よろしくお願いします is like, it's like another nice to meet you. But
Okay.
in Japanese, it's, respect is very important.
Okay.
So, it translates technically as, please look favorably upon me.
Oh, fair enough.
Which I really like.
Yeah.
I might start saying it in English. You know?
Yeah, please do. Please do look favorably.
Please.
I would appreciate
Come
that.
on, don't judge me on my gums.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the podcast you don't see this, but I have the biggest gums. I've not yet met someone that's got bigger gums than me.
Is there an evolutionary reason for that?
Well, my dad is a jockey, and so at school there was, the kids would be like, "Oh, your dad's a jockey. Maybe he had sex with a horse," and that's how you came
That's
about.
hilarious.
Well, no,
You know what children are?
because I've done my test. I don't.
And right, and children are really nice. I like it. I like what they're.
I'm looking forward to having some.
Yeah, isn't it going to be great? It was one of my favorite. I'm working on this thing because one of my favorite things that my mom used to do when I was a kid, my stepmom, she met us when I was 7, right?
Right.
And so she had not had children. She didn't know any children. I'm the youngest of 6. She's now in charge of a boatload of children. And I was the giant, I was a whinging. I was a whiny little brat. And
You were a child.
I was a child,
fine.
which is what children do. They whine. And so when I would
I'm an adult now. I whine, but in a very different way.
In a very different
more French way.
and in a lower tone. But the tone would kill her. And so she would whine back at me. So I'd be like, I want to do the thing. And she'd go, do you want to do the thing? And you're like, oh, that's horrible. She goes, right. So stop
method.
it. And and she said to me, I remember her saying, she's like, you can either, if I can get you the thing, if you ask me like a person, I'll get it for you. If I can't get it for you, I won't get it for you. And here's an extra. If I can get it for you, but I don't think you should have it, you're not getting it. But here's the thing. You're never getting it with that tone of voice. That'll kill me. That'll kill me tomorrow. And I was like, fair enough.
That's a really good way to teach the children.
Right. Or to keep it together.
One thing
That was our motto when I was a kid. Keep it together.
keep it together. Have you got any children?
No.
You want some?
No,
I'm not offering it. I'm not saying
no.
like, do you want some?
Are you
there's no
good?
one in this house.
My husband is due back at any minute.
Oh God. Well, that's plenty of time for me.
Any minute.
That's
27.
literally- I've already
That's
just done
perfect. It's done already.
But because I've always thought that I'd love to be a parent.
Yeah.
Because I love museums and I love homework, if you like. So
there you
just
go.
to have children will be like, oh, I have a reason to live now.
You should be an uncle.
You know,
What do you
uncle
have?
would be
Are
good.
you a sib? You got any kids? You got any
No,
siblings?
no kids yet.
And siblings?
I do, yeah. My sister's just 14.
Okay,
Very young compared to me.
Let's hope that she's not breeding at this time.
Oh, I hope not. No.
Yeah, not at this time.
But I'd like to, but I was thinking maybe I'd adopt.
You could.
I'd adopt a child, because if the child does really well in life, then people will be like, oh wow, your child's doing really well. And I'll be like, yeah, plus I adopted him, so imagine
Right.
how good I am.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm great.
And then, but if it does really badly, they'll be
Conversely.
like, oh, your child's doing really badly. Yeah, but he's adopted.
He's not mine.
He's not mine.
Yeah.
So-
What you could do is you could foster. That's a great way. Oh, he was broken when I got him. But look what he's risen above. And, it'd be, it's great. There's a lot of people. We should all be fostering. It makes me want to drink.
There's too many people, yeah.
There's a lot of people. It's good. There's, my sister had they got the youngest, and it's Philip Seymour Hoffman just passed away, right?
Yeah.
And,
sad.
my niece is 6.
Right.
And they get in the car and it's on the radio that Philip Seymour Hoffman has passed away. And children are so literal. My niece Noah says, he died falling off a wagon? What happened? Which is
That's so beautiful.
Right. And you're like, no, he was not riding a stagecoach and he fell off the back end of a wagon.
That would be a worse way to die, actually.
It'd be a terrible way to
So
die.
actually, I'm glad he died that way rather than just falling off a wagon.
Right. That would be.
I'm annoyed he died,
Seems
though.
painful. Are you annoyed he died?
Because I'm not like one of those, oh, rest in peace, here's a tweet about it. But I did rate him as an actor. I
Yeah.
really did.
He was an amazing actor.
Watching him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching him. So it was the first time any celebrity died, and I went, that really bothers me.
Oh, the first one is kind of the hardest, but it's interesting about him because he someone was saying that it's just a sign that sometimes nothing can be enough. Like if you don't get help, if you don't actually address the problems that are inside your head.
Yeah.
Because I guess he was sober for 20 years.
Right.
And then he was like, screw it. I'm going to have a beer or whatever. And then all of a sudden he's doing heroin in a hotel room.
Well, this is one thing I don't know how America works. Yeah. But yeah, you guys throw, this is what my outside of you.
Yeah.
So apologies if I'm wrong, but, you guys throw pills at problems.
Oh, there's a lot of pills going on.
And also you don't get the right mental health. Like, so one thing that really bothered, because I am genuinely in need of psychiatrists and stuff like that, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I don't need pills.
Right.
And, but Adam Lanza, this was last year, which is going to get dark now.
Okay.
The Sandy Hook massacre. The
Oh,
school
yeah.
massacre. Now, totally wrong what he did.
Right.
And I am against guns because of that sort of aspect, right? It was like...
Yeah, loose guns.
Right?
Loose guns go off, turns out.
Mad. But he didn't get the right mental health.
Right.
And that's what I'm like, so why is it easier to get guns than it is to get mental health?
Oh, right.
Or why is it so easy to just get loads of pills?
Oh, yeah.
So, like my friend will go to sleep and she'll be like, okay, I'm just going to get some pills now. And I'm like, why? To go to sleep? In England, what we do when we're sleepy, we go into bed.
And we wait until we fall asleep.
Yeah.
And then if we can't get to sleep, look, it's ringing
Telephone.
again. The damn telephone.
So while Jackie is away to get the telephone, let me tell you a little bit about Jackie. I met her actually not in a comedy club, but at a corner of a street. Oh, she's back. Shh.
Oh, wait.
And
Talk
she's a
amongst
lovely
yourselves.
lady.
And I'm a lovely lady. And so, yeah, no, the pills are bad. But what it has done, I will say this, did you ever see Serenity, Firefly?
No.
Okay. Serenity, Firefly. Firefly was a TV show, 14 episodes, Joss Whedon, science fiction, sort of a Han Solo smuggler in the future. A lot of good-looking people flying around the cosmos, smuggling and living their lives. Now, Serenity was a movie because it was canceled too soon. The fans were like, but we miss it. So he made a movie, which was the end of them. And the Reavers... This is a spoiler. Whatever. It's all to do with psych meds.
Right.
The psych meds are overprescribed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know people who need psych meds.
Yeah.
You meet them and you go, oh yeah, your synapses could use a highway to go along.
Yeah.
And that drug will create that. The mass just medicating of people seems to be science fiction-y evil. Like it seems to be there seems to be a plan. And then worse than that, possibly just for the environment, for the planet, is that when they go bad or you decide not to take them, people flush them down the toilet.
Right.
And then they go into the ocean.
So then animals take antidepressants.
Shrimp are riddled with Ritalin.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I eat a shrimp, I think to myself, well, it's like a little dose of B12, isn't it? I feel much better about myself.
Wow.
But because the smaller crustaceans take in more of and they're usually closer
you're in
to
the
sewer.
Pacific, so you're actually not only eating shrimps that have like antidepressants in them or whatever, but also just a little bit of nuclear energy from Japan.
Just a little bleed off, and but it's it's on every coast. It's in the Atlantic. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. It's because
the pills.
Yeah, the pills.
Yeah.
Because they just go in. But there's been a byproduct. There are a lot of new young comics here in America that are both really good looking and really funny.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. And but you were raised in Britain, and but you were raised because what the premise is of this theory that has no basis in fact, or nothing that's calculable, is that the kids. Everybody is like Baby Gap and Limited 2, and they're raised with these lovely dental plans and all this beautiful health care. But they've been medicated within an inch of their lives because nobody wants to get their kids regular. Kids don't know how to be alone, and kids don't know how to. And they're watching a lot of television, playing video games and shit. So they're just not getting a lot of exercise, but they're in sports. But they're not learning how to live their lives. So when they turn about 18 or 19 and they go to university and they start drinking and doing pot
Yeah.
regularly.
Which we recommend.
Which, at this time, I just say wait till you get to college to do it.
Yeah.
If you need to experiment before, be very careful.
Just have a good, strong cup of coffee. You'll be surprised. You'll actually be surprised what a good, not
Red Bull.
Starbucks, like good cup of coffee.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something. And if you look around and you see the adults around you have some sort of drinking problem, you might be genetically predisposed to a drinking problem. So treat it with some respect.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Once you mix all the meds with the booze and the pot, you get a crazy person. And when I started doing stand-up comedy, the only people who did stand-up comedy were the unattractive and the insane. Now,
Thank you.
Exactly. I was of that. And now we're artificially creating insane people, but who happen to be really good looking.
Right.
And so it's nice. It's real nice. There's a lot of really funny, young,
keep-
good-looking people.
Let's keep pumping them.
Pile it in. A lot of good comedy coming out of it. Huh? Yep. Yeah, that's another random evolutionary theory of mine.
Well, I mean, this is the thing about, because I said, let's talk about evolution, but this is where my brain goes. I get distracted very
Right.
easily. So I'm not an expert in anything, for
Right.
example.
Okay.
So like, I consider myself like, in a way a dork because I read all the time and everything like that. But like, I'm not, I don't collect anything from Star Wars. I don't collect anything from Star Trek. I know
yeah.
a little bit about everything.
Sure.
There's a thing, but I don't know.
Your dorkdom isn't-
Hulk, for example. I know that he was grey originally.
Right.
But
Do you only know
I've
that
never
because of
read-
Stuart Lee?
Yes.
Is that why you know
Yes,
that?
I do know
Yeah.
that. I'm surprised you know Stuart Lee.
I worked with Stuart Lee for 4 weeks.
Oh, lovely.
I did a
He's
road
nice,
tour
isn't
in Australia.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So like, there's just, I know just little things like that, and I sort of soak in information.
Right.
But I'm not an expert on anything.
Right.
Um,
Which is exactly what the Dork Forest is full of. People with a lot of enthusiasm and a little bit of information. It's
About-
kind of
yeah,
perfect. So what are you reading right now?
so I've just finished Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I thought.
Oh, okay. How does that hold up?
It's actually quite good.
Oh, good.
It's surprisingly the
still
the film
current?
has done its done it justice.
Does it feel appropriate though? I mean, does it feel dated or?
No, it feels right.
good. Oh,
I mean, I think it helps as well. Like I once took acid.
Okay.
And little things like that help. Like I'm
Right,
not
you have some experience. In,
Yeah, I'm not a big drug person, but because I want to, be an actor one day, I thought
Right.
try everything, and like, in a way, like be a methadone actor. Like,
Right.
it's important to just try everything.
Excellent.
And so that helped in a way, just to understand what the
Yeah.
the Hunter was trying to say. I'd say one of my favorite books is I Am Legend,
Oh
Richard Matheson.
no, I have not. There's a
Nothing
movie.
like the film,
I can't imagine.
right? And the film was good.
And the
yeah.
film, it's a remake, isn't it?
I
The
think
Will Smith one.
yes,
Yeah.
I've seen the Will Smith one. I don't know. If
Okay,
it's,
there's
maybe it's
an original one, and it's sort of a dystopian like future, right? I imagine.
Yeah. But the book is brilliant.
Okay.
Love it. I mean, there's so many books out there. I am a big fan of books.
Yeah.
So like, I'd say I've never read a comic.
Right. Nonfiction? Do you read much nonfiction?
Nonfiction as well.
Okay.
Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson.
Okay.
Is one of my favorites.
Oh, good.
I read a lot of like human evolution stuff.
Who's writing good stuff on
I
human
don't. Sorry,
evolution?
I'm touching my nipples right now.
Do whatever you
as
need
I'm
to do. This
talking.
is it's an audio podcast.
Yeah, I didn't even have to say anything. But as I was looking into your eyes, I was going,
like,
I'm touching my nipples.
I thought you might be cold because it's chilly in here.
Oh, no.
No.
You're chilly.
Right.
This is tropical for me.
This is beautiful. This is a beautiful moment.
holiday.
And it is February, so it's supposed to be cold. Anyway, but yeah. So what's good books for people who want to read more about evolution?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's The Long Human Journey by Dr. Alice Roberts.
Okay.
Is quite nice. Now, that doesn't explain evolution. It explains, let's say, from the moment you've evolved.
Okay.
And the journey you take. So, like, for example, how did humans get into America before Christopher Columbus, etc.? Well, it was because, obviously, Russia and America was connected.
Yes.
And because during the Ice Age, you'll be surprised that I think 150 meters... There was so much ice
Yeah.
on land that the water was down by 150 meters. Something like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. So there was land bridges all over.
Right.
You know,
You could go
Australia,
from one to...
Indonesia was not just all these 1,800 islands, I think.
Yeah.
It was like just 2. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not. It wasn't an archipelago, right? But it was all connected. Everything.
Yeah.
And because of the what's the?
So Pangea was the big
Pangea.
bastard.
Yeah, that was the big
right?
bastard, and then everything drifted apart
Everything
from
drifted, yeah.
Yeah. And then the ice age happened, right?
There was I'd say 8 ice ages.
Okay.
So there's quite a lot. It happens a lot. You
How many movies are there? Ice Age movies? Just the 3, right? It's a cartoon. Okay, so
yeah, there's that, yeah. Oh, with the squirrel, the crazy squirrel. You know, The Day After Tomorrow is an Ice Age movie.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know.
sure.
But it just keeps happening. See, people go, oh, global warming. Now, global warming is like, you know, maybe we should just cut down on maybe running some cars all the time.
Sure.
But it happens all the time. Like
Right.
in England, if you read Charles Dickens, they had the Thames was frozen.
Right.
And they would have fires on the Thames. Now, for me, that's illogical because we barely have snow now.
Right.
We just have very cold winds.
Right.
But they
Wasn't
haven't-
there an ice skating a year that it froze over that there was an ice skating rink?
I can totally imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was.
yeah.
But then also, England used to grow melons because it used to also get that hot. So it just shows that
Yeah.
things change.
Well, Dennis Miller had a great joke. Oh yeah, DennisMiller.com. It was back before he went mad. And it was a great joke about how people are always, no, was it him or was it? It could have been,
Don't mess this up.
I know it. He's
don't mess it up.
he's George Carlin.
Right.
It's either a George Carlin joke or a Dennis Miller joke. People are going, those are two very different comedians.
Very
Jackie.
different.
Very, very different. And I think it might have been Carlin, and it was, yeah, it was Carlin. And it was just that people are always talking about how we're killing the planet.
Right.
And Carlin said, you can't kill a planet. You can piss a planet off, so it kills you.
Yeah.
But that is all. You will not kill this
The
planet.
planet's going to be fine without us.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Matter of
If
fact,
anything, is looking forward to it. It's like, get the space program. Get the
do
fuck
something.
off my skin.
Are there 7 billion of one kind of thing on this planet? Why? It itches. And, yeah.
Have you seen this lovely little cartoon on, like, running around Facebook?
What is it?
It's the moon and the earth talking to each other. And the earth's going, hey moon, what's up earth? Oh, I've got humans. Oh, dude, that's really bad. I'm really sorry to hear that. And it's like, yeah. And then you see like a little spaceship just leaving earth. And the moon's like, what's this? Dude, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Dude, what? It's getting nearer to me. It's getting nearer to me. And then it lands on the moon. And it's like, oh my God, it's contagious. Mars, run.
Mars, run. Yes, that's awesome. It's I do love science. I love science and I love the idea of it it feels very speculative sometimes, but some things seem like there's no reason not to believe. Like, it doesn't make any sense when people don't believe in evolution.
See, I'm an atheist.
Okay.
Because I do sort of.
Were you raised atheist?
I was actually. This is a good way to raise, I think, children. My parents taught me about religion.
Okay.
And they just went
About it?
Yeah, they weren't.
Theory?
They're not religious either. But
Okay.
also they weren't. Both of them dropped out of school. They were like my mum had me when she was 17 and stuff.
Right.
So I don't think they think about stuff like that.
Right.
If you like. But I and my grandma, firm believer, like she really wanted me to become one.
Right. What church was she in? Was she in a church?
Catholic.
Catholic. Okay.
But I see my issue is that with science, it feels like they show you some stuff, and obviously, like you said, how do you know exactly how much DNA you have?
Right.
I don't, so I take it with a pinch of salt.
Sure.
And the Big Bang Theory, for example.
Right.
I read about it and I sort of go, okay, so I'm starting to understand all of this.
Mm-hmm.
But in my head, just because they don't know exactly what happened at the beginning doesn't mean that they won't find the answer one day.
Right.
But also, we don't have the answer right now.
No.
So keep an open mind.
Sure.
Right? So I don't have a problem with the idea of religion.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a problem with the current religions. It's like, for example, in African country, they have one called Chrislam.
Okay.
Right, where they have the best bits of Christianity, best bits of Islam. They've made Chrislam, right? Now, if that helps them to become better people, awesome.
Sure. Yep.
Right? And that's another reason why I like religion.
Right.
I know so many people that are bloody brilliant.
Right. Well,
If
people
it helps-
love a rule.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if it helps, no worries. But it's like the idea that, we can make one up and this is now definitely real. So, like, you've got Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, for example. They've not been around that long. Like, there's other religions before them.
Right.
If you think, I don't know, you got
Chinese
Greek mythology.
ones, right.
You got the Chinese ones. You got Roman mythology. Mm-hmm. Why can we laugh at them now?
Right.
But but no, actually, no, it's definitely this God now.
Right.
Oh, the one that's fairly new. Yeah, no, it's definitely that one. And...
Well, if you think that those are new, what do you think of Mormonism?
Yeah, well, exactly.
I mean, it's
but this is where I'm not one of those atheists like Richard Dawkins where I'm like, you're wrong, die. Right.
Right.
I'm like,
those guys are just button pushers anyway.
They're so angry. No
they're
reason.
There's just like, I want everyone to find something that'll make them a better person, that'll help them in their journey.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if it's, some people love psychiatry, other people love yoga.
Right.
Some people are really into paleo. They really just want to eat a lot of raw food and some meat. And you're like, that's fine. If that is helping you get through the day and not snap at the lady at the store.
That's Shintoism, isn't it? That's the Japanese.
Is it?
I think one of the Japanese religions is Shintoism, which is you can pray essentially to whatever you like.
Okay.
Whatever you like, as long as, and this is not verbatim, don't be a prick.
Oh, okay.
Right? So if you really want
that to be
if
verbatim.
I want to pray to this Captain America glass in my hand, as long as it makes you be a better person, what's the problem?
Right. What is the problem?
That's how I feel about religion. I'm quite fortunate that in London, it's very multicultural,
Yeah.
and I have black friends.
Come on.
Yes. No,
You know any Sikhs?
I have friends that Jews and proper Jews, not like I'm a little bit Jewish, like proper Jews and Muslims.
Right.
And I like that. One of my
like
friends,
the diversity?
person, in fact, that taught me about the occipital bun, used to be a creationist. She was a creationist Muslim, and now she's gone atheist.
Okay.
Really, she's got an amazing story. Not mine to tell, but she's amazing. And so I like all of that.
Yeah.
And I actually like that they exist. I don't have a problem. But I do have a problem when they dismiss facts. Or it's like Westboro Baptist Church. I mean, they have such a bad reputation.
That is an organized button pushing moment, and because they don't even. They're horrible. They're just mean, unnecessarily cruel to the point of where it feels like, I don't know if you ever read the C.S. Lewis trilogy, Space Trilogy.
Yeah.
I always think of them in the book That Hideous Strength, which is the third book, and it's about the Antichrist. And I don't talk about religion a great deal because I was raised Christian, but it was a very casual Christianity. It's in the Armenian church, which is all in Armenian. And so I could believe whatever I want to some extent. And the gist of it seemed to be like the nice man in the picture. And you should probably go get your dad some coffee because he's sitting there without some coffee.
Right.
And
that sounds like a lovely religion.
My dad
likes it. Who's the man in the picture?
The man in the picture is he's a nice, he has a small scraggly beard. He seems whitish, blue eyes.
Whitish, and yet from the Arabian countries.
Right. Weirdly enough, a descendant of Moses who was
black.
That's
where the first white appeared.
Yes, and doesn't make any sense. But but Armenians, it's very funny because there's so many Armenians here. People are like, "So is your mom white?" And I was like, "Wait, is my dad not white because he's Armenian?" And they're like, "Oh, never mind." And I was like,
right.
"No," and I was like, "No, I'm good. It doesn't. I don't. You can call it whatever you want to. I mean, I don't have a horse in that race.
Right,
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I hope it all. Whatever you'd like to judge, that'll be fine." Where are you going next? We're at about an hour, of course.
Cool.
We're at over an hour.
Well, I am going to be moving to LA next year.
Oh, are you?
Because I'm enjoying it. I like the people here are nice. I mean, I have a theory that Americans are nice because you never know who's got a gun.
But that's definitely in LA. That's why people drive really good. It's because there was a lot of shootings
women,
in the
apparently.
90s. Right? Oh, I was going to tell you my Asian theory.
Go.
Being from Wisconsin,
yes.
There are no Asians there. There are some Asians, but nothing like the number of Asians that are in California.
Of course. Right.
So in California, there are a lot of Japanese and there are a lot of Chinese people that immigrated and stayed in California.
Right.
Now, much like every sweeping generalization, it's a numbers game. There are no bad Asian drivers in Wisconsin because proportionally the number of Asians are very low.
Right.
The shitty drivers in Wisconsin tend to be wearing caps baseball caps and Packer fans. Those people are terrible drivers because they're everywhere. Now, the number of Asians that are in California, there's a lot more Asians, so you're going to see a lot more Asians in accidents.
It's just probability.
It's probability and a numbers game. It's why when people say that women are shitty comics, you're like, that's because you've only seen 100 women comics, and 90% of all comics blow. And so you just need to see 1,000 women comics and 1,000 male comics, and 900 of both of them are going to suck. So
That's true.
And it seems mean to say that anybody sucks, but some people suck.
Some people do suck.
And that is today's message of the Dork Forest Rangers. Stay out there. Stay dry. Stay warm. And thank you so much, Eric Lampaert. Talk to me about what is it? Spell Lampaert for the people.
LAMP, like a lamp, and then AERT. So A, like art, but with an E. It's very difficult.
I'm going to put it in the notes because he's made it more confusing. He is in lamp. God love you. Thanks for being on the show. You're great.
Thank you for having me.
All right. That was great. Thanks so much for listening to the show, you guys. The bonus content, which is Andy and I discussing the show, is available on the apps, the Libsyn sold apps. For some reason, Libsyn is also just posting it for free, so you don't have to buy the app. You can just go to tdf.libsyn.com if you're just downloading it to your iTunes and putting it on some other app to listen to all of the different podcasts that you listen to. So if you want to listen to the bonus content, just go to tdf.libsyn.com, or you can buy the app if you want. And you can also just go to iTunes, by the way, and review the show. iTunes supposedly cares about that. So if you're enjoying the show, and I read them, and that's great. And if you ever want to email me, Jackie@JackieCation.com. The credits, of course. Patrick Brady's going to fix this audio. Thank you, Patrick. Mike Rickberg composed and sang the intro song. He's going to sing the Mexican hat dance right here in a moment. And Vilmos fixes the website, JackieCation.com, where, by the way, there is a donation button, JackieCation.com and DorkForest.com. Feel free to donate. I'd love everyone to give me $100 a year. That is $8.33 a month. I have not figured out a way to make that easy for you. You would have to remember that, or you can just throw me some money. If you don't have any money, that's fine as well. But feel free to talk up the show. And if you would like merch, if you'd like a Dork Forest t-shirt or a CD of my stand-up comedy, or would like to know where I'm doing stand-up, go to JackieCation.com and hook yourself up. There's also an Amazon banner if you want to, or if you ever order from Amazon, and we all do, go through JackieCation.com and the Amazon banner. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. See you next week.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat, my hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?